Welcome back, jerks. I have no idea what I'm doing, and today I'm doing something that's a little scary because this is what came in this morning. This is a valve cover gasket, and unfortunately it's the wrong color, but I think we're going to use it anyway. So that's that. I'm going to show you the reason why we're going to be doing this here in a second. If you remember from the walkthrough, we saw some very little, but a little bit of seepage coming from the valve cover, and that's not completely unexpected, and it's not terrible that that's the only thing that I see that's going bad here. And this side doesn't look bad at all. That side, let me get out of my own shadow. That side has a little bit of gunk happening right there. So we're gonna replace that gasket, and while we're doing it, we're gonna just go ahead and paint the. Oh, I'm bright. We're gonna go ahead and paint the valve cover while we're at it. And I got some engine primer, and then I got some engine color. So we're gonna do that, make the valve cover look all prettified and stuff like that. Hopefully it won't be too ricey looking, but I think it'll look pretty good. Now here's the problem. These bolts in here, if you own a Miata, you've probably heard about them. These bolts that hold the valve cover on, they tend to be pretty fragile, and they are torque spec'd to a very low torque, and it's somewhere around I think it's 48 to 74, some weird number like that. And when you go and buy a torque wrench, they don't do it in, oh, that's inch pounds, by the way. They don't do it in inch pounds, they do it in foot pounds. So the conversion obviously is not too difficult, but it's hard to find a torque wrench that goes that low. The lowest I was able to find was 5 foot-pounds to up to 80 foot-pounds, and it was $50-some. And I'm really not interested in spending $50-some on one tiny little job. First thing we're gonna do is label the spark plug wires, because once I pull these, and the last thing I want to do is get them all confused. Now there shouldn't be a problem because these are all different lengths, and they're really if I screw that up, I'm the biggest idiot on the planet, but I don't have any idea what I'm doing, so I'm gonna label them anyway, just because. And to do that, I'm gonna need a Sharpie and masking tape. As I pull these, plugs, I'm simply just gonna label this 1. And 4 looks different, so I'm not going to bother labeling that one, because 1, 2, 3, 4, I better not screw up the 4th one. Alright, now we have to release these. This is the PCV valve. We have to release this clamp right here. Oh, that's easy. I did it with my fingers. Not sure that's good. I'm sure it's fine. There, that's off. And then go over there. Okay, and this is the PCV valve here. That's gone. I'm going to have to pull this grommet out later. I'm not going to do that just yet. And then I'm going to pull these right here, and that's going to be a 10, I believe. I have been told that these should not be difficult to remove, and because they were not ever torqued down hard by the factory. Again, that 48 to 74 inch-pounds of torque. All right, so this now comes away, and we're good there. And it is a circular pattern where you start in the middle. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's do that, and I'm gonna zoom in here a little bit so that you can see what I can see. How about that right there? Okay, so, and again, these are not supposed to be difficult to remove. Okay, there we go. That felt a little difficult, but we're just going to go with that. And I understand that this is critically important not to drop these screws in these holes that I made because the spark plugs are not in there. So I'm going to definitely hold on to those really tight. I'm going to put them in a semi-safe place over here. And here we go, we're going to go around again. Maybe they didn't have the right torque wrench. Tell you what, let's make this easier and just and then I can pull them off. I've heard some nightmare stories about people shearing these bolts off, and that is not something I'm interested in doing today, because if that were to happen, I'm pretty sure this car's not going to move anywhere until I order new bolts and then get them delivered. There we go. Okay. Now there are 2 more bolts I need to remove, and I believe they're on either side of this right here, and they're difficult. Maybe not. Maybe so. Okay. There we go. Let's see if this comes loose. It doesn't really want to come loose, but it sure does look like I need to get that bolt there too. There we go. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. And now this should just lift on out. So let's see if that's true. There we go. Okay, so it's loose. That's good. And then I don't know how to kind of grab this. There, like that. How about that? I'll just take that off of there. There we go. Okay. So this looks surprisingly good. I mean, surprisingly good. It doesn't look like there's a problem at all. That is a good sign. I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to put this aside for now. And then I'll pull the rest of this gasket out of here. Boy, that looks good, man. I mean, this doesn't look bad at all. And I'm going to hold on to it. Although I probably shouldn't. I think I'm still going to hold on to it. So you're supposed to put this goop on the round parts. And that's what you can see there is on all 3 of these round parts. There's this goopy stuff. I need to probably go and get some. It does not appear that there's anything wrong with this, and I probably didn't need to replace it in the first place, but well, I'm doing it now. This now exposes the timing belt, and I'm told that there should be some turn in it, some spin. But, you know, to be completely honest, it looks pretty good. It's not dry and cracked. So everything looks pretty good. And so what you're looking at right now is the inside of the valve body of a 1.6 Miata motor. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not seeing any weird wear. Everything appears to be pretty good. I will probably go in here as best I can to kind of clean up the edge, just to kind of be in a cosmetic state. I mean, it literally looks a lot better than my old Miata, my 1.895. So that's a good looking motor. All I need to probably do is kind of clean up this goop that's been put on it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be kind of careful with that, so none of this this used up goop ends up in the motor, and that's gonna be something I'll do later. But for now, let's concentrate on this thing, and we're going to clean it up and then prep it for primer, and then we're going to put the primer on there, and then we're going to put the paint on there, and then we're just going to hose this down with some simple green, and we're going to scrub it good. Probably doesn't matter so much for this. Maybe I'll get a wire brush, try and clean that up a little bit. Alright, I'm back with pliers, and this is one thing that might throw a big giant wrench in my plans to get this done in a day or two, if this doesn't come out clean. Really nervous about this not coming out. Well, a little force works a little bit, and a lot of force must work a lot of bit, right? Not wanting to come out. So here's what we'll do. No, I really want to get this out. It spins. That's something. Alright, well, let's give it another yank. I see it. I mean, it looks like it's coming out, right? I think I will really quickly use I'm going to use the old, that's too bright, you couldn't see anything. I'm going to use the old internet to see if there's something I can do that makes that easier. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I masked off the PCV valve grommet as best I could, and I even I covered up this breather valve. Alright, well, I'm a little bit nervous doing this because I have no idea what I'm doing, but here we go. Coverage is pretty good. Alright, we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll hit it with the red. We'll probably do 2 separate coats of the color coat. Alright, that's 1 coat. So I'm in between coats, and there's a weird cracking going on. And I don't know what that's all about. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I can see it. Yep, that's it. So, gonna give that 5 minutes to dry, then I'll move it to the garage, and that'll be it for today, I think. Okay, so we are about ready to put the valve cover back on, and what you have to do is you have to go in and wipe down all of the surfaces, and then remove as much of the old gunk. And when I say gunk, it's this gasket sealant, which we're going to put new stuff in there. But the idea is to get as much out of there as you can. I didn't do a very good job, so I'm going to go over it one more time. I'm not sure if I should be using a screwdriver to do this, but it does seem to be the only way I can get this old crap out. I mean, it's been sitting in there for 26 years. Let's go ahead and put the sealant back in there. And I'm told not to use too much, but I guess I don't know what that means. It's in these little cracks and crevices that I need to put the gasket sealant. Try putting a little bit up there. This isn't the best paint job I've ever done, but it is the paint job I've done. So we'll take a look at this. Damn it, always the wrong way. You would think that I would figure out a way to get that correct 1 time out of 2. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this guy in here. And how does it go? It must go this way. Alright, so I'm not crazy about this fitment because it's all over the place. But I'm going to say that if I put that in there properly and seat it properly, it's going to be fine. Okay, so let's now, it's not coming out, that's, oh no! Oh, okay. Hopefully that'll just wipe off. So we're going to take this over here and we're going to install it. Hopefully on the first try. Alright, so you get in there. Let's pull these guys out of here. That's pretty good. Put that back on there. Good. I already got oil on there. That's perfect. Alright. So, we have to put back in these guys right here. I don't know how that works. Alright, so let me screw those in. go. All right, nice. I'm gonna start putting in a few bolts. Then I'm gonna put them in the same way I took them out. So 1, 2, and all the way around to 11. Because I wanna get that new seal to really seat in there. So I'm gonna tighten them down a little bit, just not completely. Okay, so that's those that I can tighten down. We can now replace the PCV valve. We can put the plugs back in place. There's a cat getting ready. I'm going to put this guy back on there. Okay, so I'm just very quickly going to jump in the car and start it. Make sure it works. Look at that. I see no seepage right now. I won't know for absolutely sure and certain until I've run this for a while. But so now I have a new gasket in there. I've got a nice painted valve cover. And there you have it. So that wasn't too impossibly difficult. Still need to get that torque wrench, and then I'll tighten everything down to spec, and then should be good. So until next time, this has been I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'll catch you on the next project.